In 1849, in the ancient city of Nineveh in northern Iraq, archaeologists sifted through dusty remains, hoping to find r- records to prove that Bible stories were true. What they found instead was one of the oldest libraries in the world. Inscribed on crumbling clay tablets was a 4,000-year-old story so reversing that the first person who translated it started stripping from excitement. Called the Epic of Gilgamesh, the story starts with Gilgamesh, king of the city of Uruk, crashing every wedding and uh, ruining the whole function. So, to tame Gilgamesh, the goddess Aruru created a rival called Enkidu. Enkidu lived beyond the walls of the city where chaos reigned and wild animals, invaders, and evil spirits prowled. After a priestess of the god Ishtar took Enkidu, the wild animals beyond the wall re- rejected him and he ventured into the city. There he encountered Gilgamesh up to his usual tricks. Enkidu stepped in to stop him. Almost perfectly matched, the two men wrestled all through the city streets until Gilgamesh won the fight by a hair. Afterwards, they were inseparable. With his new friend, Gilgamesh turned his attention from all this uh, adventures he was doing to proving his strength in combat. They set out to slay Humbara, a creature with 1,000 faces, who guarded the trees of the forest of Cedar. They tracked the Humbada and ambushed him. Cornered, he begged for life, then cursed them as Gilgamesh dealt the final blow. Back home in Uruk, the goddess was interested in Gilgamesh. Knowing she tended to lose interest and curse her former flames, Gilgamesh refused her advances. So Ishtar unleashed the bull of heaven on Uruk to destroy crops and kill people. When Gilgamesh and Enkidu slayed the creature defending the city, the gods killed Enkidu. He entered the house of dust, the shadowy Mesopotamian underworld, where the spirits of the dead knelt eternally on the ground, eating dirt and drinking stone. Grieving for Enkidu and terrified of meeting this fate himself, Gilgamesh set off beyond the cosmic mountains to seek immortality. He passed scorpion people and groves of gemstone trees, traveled through the mountains and outran the sun until he finally came to the end of the world, where he found a bar. The bartender was a goddess, and who urged Gilgamesh to give up his quest. She told him that all must die, but until death comes, he should live his life. But Gilgamesh refused to uh, give up. Uh, so she gave him directions to cross the waters of death and meet an immortal man. The gods had granted that man immortality following a great flood, uh, during which he built a boat, loaded two of every animal onto it, and landed on a mountain peak. His name was his name was Utanapishti. He also encouraged Gilgamesh to accept death and that it comes for everyone, but Gilgamesh still would not budge. So he told him that he could conquer sleep, uh, and he intended to stay awake for 7 days, but Gilgamesh fell asleep immediately. Utanpishti then told him about a magical plant that grew at the bottom of the ocean, which can grant eternal youth. Though Gilgamesh successfully retrieved the plant, a snake stole it on his way home. But when Gilgamesh laid eyes on his beautiful city again, he made peace with his mortality and did good deeds all his life. He wrote his story on a tablet and buried it under the city walls for future generations to find and learn from. The tablets uncovered were part of the library of the Assyrian king. Well, though the story is mythical and completely full of fantasy and it's not actually true, but Gilgamesh was probably a real king of Uruk. Versions of his tale date to even 2000 BCE and perhaps even longer ago, and still it, it goes through literature today.